ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation kicked off live coverage of Election Day in St. Kitts and Nevis with on-the-spot reporting from East and Central Basse-Terre on Friday. Shaira Flanders has more.
Voters in constituencies number 1 and 2 exercised their right to vote on Friday, June 5th, 2020. Considering that voting is inherently linked to the building of democracy, the registered voters were seen lining up as early as 6 a.m., despite being informed that polls were not scheduled to open until 7 in the morning. A total of 6,002 registered voters were expected to cast their ballots across 15 polling stations in Constituency 1, while 5,418 registered voters were expected to exercise their franchise across 13 polling stations in Constituency 2. Dr. Jeffrey Hanley of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, or SKNLP, and Ian Liburd of the People's Action Movement, or PAM, are the candidates contesting St. Christopher 1. Meanwhile, the electoral constituency of St. Christopher 2 is being contested by Jonal Powell of the People's Action Movement and Marcella Liburd of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party. Results from the 2020 general elections are expected to be announced on ZIZ Radio 96.1, TV Channel 5, and online at www.zizonline.com. All election-related information can also be found online at electionskn.com. Reporting for ZIZ News, I am Shaira Flanders.
Meanwhile, voters in constituencies number 7 and 8 exercised their franchise with the opening of the polls on Election Day from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Friday. Carla Berridge tells us more.
In constituency number 7, the candidates contesting the elections are first-time candidate Leon Nathan Nelson for the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party and Dr. Timothy Harris of the People's Labour Party. A total of 3,722 voters were expected to vote at 8 polling stations across the constituency from Tabernacle to Lodge Village. According to information from the Electoral Office, the number of votes given to the candidates of constituency number 7 will be counted tonight at 8 o'clock at the Tabernacle Police Station. Meanwhile, in constituency number 8, a voter turnout of 6,948 was expected across 9 polling stations, which spanned from Keon through to Keys, Connery and St. Peters. Incumbent Eugene Hamilton of the People's Action Movement, PAM, and Dr. Terence Drew of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party are the candidates contesting the elections for the area. The Electoral Office informed that votes for constituency number 8 will be counted at the St. Peter's Community Centre. Live coverage of the SKN 2020 elections was aired on ZIZ Radio and television throughout the day. Live coverage of the election count can be viewed on ZIZ's media platforms beginning at 8 p.m. Reporting for ZIZ News, I'm Carla Berridge.
Meanwhile, voters in Nevis came out to determine the 3 candidates who will be part of the federal government. Here's more.
Through rain and shine, voters on Nevis turned out to cast their ballots in all 3 constituencies. Candidates from the Concerned Citizens Movement, 1/3 of the Team Unity Coalition, and the Nevis Reformation Party are vying for seats. Like on St. Kitts, the polls opened at 7 a.m. and persons lined up at schools, churches, community centres and other buildings to cast their votes. Leader of the CCM, Mark Brantley, said from what he has seen, voting has been peaceful and going smoothly, and the turnout was reasonable.
Well, the turnout, as I said, has been reasonable in the circumstances. We know that the overseas voters are not here, so we expect that the turnout will be lower than normal. But I think it has been steady, and we feel fairly good based on what we're seeing thus far.
ZIZ News also caught up with Dr. Kevin Daly, the NRP candidate for Nevis number 9, who's running for the first time. He said he's very grateful for the support he has gotten.
I've been endorsed by several people, including the former Premier of Nevis, Mr. Judge Parry, and some other persons from the Guyanese community and the Spanish community, the youth arm, all those persons, they have really made this journey worthwhile. They have really been steadfast and committed to the cause, because we do believe this is a cause that is worth fighting for. We believe Nevis is worth fighting for.
With overseas voters absent this election, the topic of turnout was on the lips of many of the candidates. And as the day wound down, both parties were confident of victory. Jason Davis for ZIZ News.